Ja, herzlich willkommen zu Popsession hier im Alex Radio. Ich freue mich riesig, dass ihr eingeschaltet habt und ihr könnt euch auch freuen, denn mit unseren heutigen Studiogästen wird's wieder besonders schön. Die Band, die bei mir ist, die trägt den zunächst eher simpel klingenden Bandnamen Fenster, der tatsächlich eher aus einem Unfall heraus entstanden ist. Während der Raucherpause einer Probe ist nämlich ein Fenster auf die New Yorker Sängerin JJ gefallen und weil sich ohnehin niemand mit dem Ausdenken eines Bandnamen auseinandersetzen wollte, war der danach schnell geboren. Aber gerade dieser Zufall brachte das perfekte Wort hervor, um den verspielten Dream-Pop der Band zu beschreiben. Mit einem bunten Potpourri aus Instrumenten und Geräuschen aus der Umwelt, die die Band in ihren Songs verarbeitet, öffnet ihre Musik ein großes Fenster, das uns hinausblicken lässt in atmosphärische Traumlandschaften, die uns verzaubern und gleichzeitig irgendwie traurig berühren. 2012 haben sie ihr Debütalbum Bones herausgebracht. Jetzt ist der zweite Longplayer Pink Caves am Start, von dem es jetzt einen Track für euch gibt. Hier sind Fenster mit Better Days. Yeah, welcome. Great to have you here. And sorry first for my mispronunciation of the album title. It's not Pink Caves, but The pink caves, to make sure the people get this right. And in my little introduction, I told the story of your band name and how a window once fell on your head. You weren't hurt, were you?
No, miraculously, I wasn't hurt. Not a scratch on me.
Okay, glad to hear that. So now we already know how your band name came into being. Can you tell us a little bit about how you as a band formed and how you guys came together? A very multicultural band. I mean, you're Jonathan from Berlin, you JJ from New York. The two guys here are from France.
Oui.
Luca and Remy.
Oui, c'est vrai.
C'est vrai.
Yes.
I guess it's just Berlin, like the moment, what it is right now. And Johnny and I met, and then Remy and Johnny and I met, and then Luca, and we all kind of like met through music, and we needed each other in a way to form the band. And I don't know, it's like the way Berlin is right now. You just tend to meet a lot of kind of lost people or people looking for something, and yeah, I guess we were all looking for each other in a way.
I also said earlier that an essential aspect of your music is that you use a lot of sounds from the environment. So, for instance, in The Hunter from your old album, from Bones, there is the sound of an elevator that crashed. You were recording in an old warehouse in the basement, and an elevator crashed, and you can hear that in the song. There's also in other songs sirens and old radios. So was that a conscious decision to build those sounds in from the beginning, or was it something that developed over time?
That was a conscious decision. The elevator crashed in the middle of a recording, and we just kept it in because we liked it. And we always kind of like these kind of accidents and things. And like we like to, instead of having a sterile, clean studio sound, to kind of do the opposite and incorporate every noise, interruption kind of in the music.
And
it's more fun.
Also, on your last album, Bones, there is another song, White and Red, for instance, where one can hear the S-Bahn in Berlin. So, as I said, you use a lot of sounds from the environment. How does that work? Like, are you running around with a recording device all the time, looking for interesting songs or sounds? Sorry,
not forcing it, but like this, for example, White to Red, the song. We always carried a Zoom recorder with us, and the way to the studio is really long and boring. So we started recording that. Although usually you would think an S-Bahn ride is pretty boring, but actually there were a lot of like weird sounds in this, like people shouting, weird like mechanical sounds of the S-Bahn going stuff like that.
And what comes first when you write the songs? Is it like, as I said, are you running around the city recording songs, and do you put them in the folder on the computer until you write the perfect song for it? Or do you have a song first and then think, oh, what is it that I could put into it?
It depends. I mean, yeah, I think in the last record, like we would record a song, and then we were recording it in a house, and we recorded all the sounds around the house, and then sometimes in post-production we would think like this song needs some atmosphere of, I don't know, a church or water, and then we would take a sound and kind of distort it or make it fit that mood. So it was just really piecing it together very carefully.
Okay, so I think we should hear another example of that. Here's Fenster with In the Waltz. Fenster with In the Walls. I think what describes you very well is that I always say that you're kind of architects of, you know, fantastic atmospheric worlds. And I mean fantastic in the sense of imaginative and mystical. So how does the creating process of these worlds of your songs look like in general?
It's a good question for you.
Great. Okay. Yeah. I think we take a lot of inspiration from movies. Like, we're all really huge movie nerds a lot of the time in the car. That's all we talk about is movies. So a lot of inspiration comes from that, and literature, science fiction generally a lot. And I don't know, whatever music we happen to be listening to at that time, it's all kind of like a mesh of things that go in and then something comes out. It's hard to explain. It's very mysterious, but yeah, a lot of different influences. But yeah, definitely a lot of films. We like a lot of film composers also. So,
what kind of films?
We're all big Cronenberg fans.
Yes.
We all like David Lynch a lot.
Obviously.
John Carpenter.
Yes.
He's a hero in France, actually.
Oh yeah.
So
He's
yeah,
one
we
of the
like we like creepy stuff, and we like science fiction a lot.
Zombies.
Gross things, but in a kind of a sweet way, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that kind of mirrors the music very well. And but I mean, creating process, you have a lot of different instruments, but your sound is still minimalistic. So how do you decide which instrument to play with and how to construct melodies? How does that work?
So yeah, we recorded that album like in a little house next to Cottbus, the new album. And yeah, it's more like going with the flow. Like the guys are writing some like bare bones of the song, and then, you know, we're checking in the studio what could be added or not. We can, you know, have a lot of options, and then we keep just what's important. Too much is annoying. Less is more.
Less is more.
Blah, blah,
But
blah.
yeah. But for this album, like Remy and our producer, they built a studio in the house, so every room had some headphones like these, and we could all hear each other, and we could all play together. So even like after we'd recorded a song, we'd feel like it needed something, and we'd all take little toys into each room, like a vacuum cleaner or like a watch or whatever we could find, and then we'd all just play together and jam over the song, making like little noises. So I think that's like, then there was like so much stuff, and then we like went through every track, and we were like, okay, just like 1 second of this, and again, like trying to make it, build it really carefully, but to do a lot and then like slowly take it away like Jenga.
That's very interesting. So you were all in different rooms, kind of being alone, but still together with the others because you were connected with your headphones and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And as you said, in the recording studio, you also work very spontaneously with everything that is in the rooms. As you said, you did that for the Pink Caves. You also did that for Bones, like you start drumming on radiators or slamming doors. How do you put that sound on stage then? Is that also something spontaneous, or do you have kind of digital devices that imitate those sounds then?
We don't take it that literally. We try to see the record as one thing, and when we start rehearsing for the live show, we kind of start with a different approach, because in a live show, other things would matter more than on a recording, like the more instinctive things, like loud drums works really well live, distorted guitar, and like craziness. While on the recording, you want to listen to it, and you want to listen to all the subtleties and stuff. So we start kind of at like zero or something, gather some stuff and see what can represent the record, but we don't try to have every sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we pretty much say no to laptop and clicks. I mean by that, like, you know, having a laptop that is like mapping everything on stage, and then like the drummer has to play with like a click. Like I would have to play with a click. That we don't really do, and because we like to keep it groovy, you know. I mean, as much as possible.
we like to keep it analog too. Like we don't
analog.
like laptops on stage.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
So we're slowly introducing like a little sampler just for little touches, for like, well, we have the sound already, but you know, no like clicks and good job, Max. No long stuff, but then it's cool because then we can actually, you know, have fun, and also I don't mean like the S-band sound, for example, which feel probably a bit weird live, you know. While you just want to have something pretty nice, and that song is simple but really like a nice riff. So I think it's nice to keep it easy, guitar, bass, drums, synth, boom, you know.
Okay, speaking of being on stage, since you formed the band, basically you've toured extensively. First Berlin, then Germany, then Europe, then even the States. Like, how was that touring and travel experience for you?
I would say it changed our lives, actually. Yeah. I think we had literally no idea before, like, what that means. We just all kind of wanted it. But we put a lot of energy into getting there, and it was like an explosion for me. Like, my life it was crazy. Like, being on the road a lot, meeting so many people, seeing so many places. It's hard to take all in. Like, when you come back from a tour, I feel like empty, like
depressed.
Not depressed, but completely empty.
Empty.
Yeah. It's you guys, what do you think?
Well, I do think the same as you. Like, it brought us, like, I think now the Pink Caves is also the result of that. I mean, I joined the band like at the end of the recording process of Bones, and I think you can hear the difference, you know. Like, 1 year and a half of touring brought the Pink Caves, and in a good way, I think.
But that made it also much harder to make the second record, because we were touring a lot, and then suddenly we had to everybody was like, so what's going to happen next? And
what's next?
We were just like, oh shit, we have to write music. Like, it was really, we didn't really feel so, we didn't even have so much time to do that. So we had to really sit down and say, okay, let's write some music, which never happened to me before, because I was always kind of doing it.
In the flow. Yeah.
You said that that travel experience also changed your sound a bit, and is different from, like, the second album is a bit different from the first one. How would you describe that?
I guess you don't put it in, it just happens to you. It's just like all the things, all the new music we've listened to, all the bands we've played with, all the new ideas and concepts of life. And I guess, I mean, we never consciously tried to write a song about touring or something, but I think just life changes you, like, and if you see so much, like, if you move so much around, I think it's even stronger.
Also, like, we recorded the first record without ever having played live, so I think definitely either subconsciously or consciously, after having had that experience, probably the music we wrote in some way reflected that or was shaped by it, and, you know, like, our aesthetics kind of changed, the things we liked and the things we were drawn to basically just evolved, which is, I think it would be crazy to try to recreate, you know, the past and our lives before touring and stuff. So it just made sense.
Okay, so let's then hear another song of the Pink Caves. Here's Fenster with Sunday Owls. this kind of, I think your sound has kind of a bit of something of Tom Waits. Sometimes in the guitars, I don't know why, for whatever reason, it reminds me of Tom York or Radiohead or something. There's a bit of Cocorose, there is a bit of Conan Moccasin. How or what kind of music influences you? Like what, are your big influences?
Okay.
I like Brazilian music, but it doesn't really show.
On the next song, a little bit.
Yeah, probably on the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I think everything.
Yeah.
Take everything that's good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we generally like music that we think is good.
Exactly. You know. But it's good, sounds good. Yeah.
And you also said earlier on that you're big fans of film. JJ, you even studied film at college. And you also have I saw so far, 2 great music videos. So what role does visual art or music videos for you as a band play in general?
We did actually 3 music videos with the same director. His name's Bryn Cheney. He's a lovely Australian fellow. And we like collaborating with people as well, although we can be, we like to be involved, let's say. But he was really behind the videos for 2.7 and O Canyon and a new one that's coming out. And then our web designer actually made our animated video for Spring Break, which is a zombie MTV Spring Break beach party nightmare. Each song, I think, definitely is so different that they required like really different kinds of videos. And Bryn had a vision, Flo had a vision in those cases, and Jonathan and I, we were in New York recently, and we made our first video ourselves for another song on the upcoming record called Cat Emperor, which was also a super cool experience for us, just to kind of trust ourselves and be like, let's try and see what comes out. So we like to collaborate and also do things on our own.
Nice, great. We're really looking forward to seeing all of this and hearing all of this. And I'm afraid our time is up already. Ja, ihr popsessiven Zuhörer und Zuhörerinnen, mal wieder war's das schon mit unserer halben Stunde Plauder- und Akustik-Session, diesmal mit dem melancholischen Pop von Fenster. Und falls ihr das jetzt hier verpasst habt, dann checkt uns doch einfach mal online aus und klickt euch auf Soundcloud, YouTube oder Facebook rein. Da findet ihr das alles zum nochmal genießen. Auf Soundcloud gibt es übrigens einen ganz besonderen Bonus. Da gibt es nämlich auch nochmal das Mixtape der Band. Oder ihr schaut mal, wann die Band das nächste Mal in eurer Nähe spielt. Die Tourfanatiker kommen bestimmt demnächst mal bei euch vorbei. Und bis dahin versüßen wir euch jetzt die Zeit mit einem letzten Song. Hier sind Fenster mit Mirrors.
Oh.